Hi everyone, it is Sophie from Scratch here, and I'm very excited to be hosting today's live from the living room because we are going to be joined by Ruth Atkins from Salon System. She is a Salon System educator and a lash expert, and she is going to be joining us today to be talking all about how now might be a good time for beauty professionals to start looking at their business and thinking about what additional services they could train in, whether that be lashes, beauty, waxing, and how they can start to take the steps to do that in this downtime that we currently have. I'm just going to try and invite her in now, so bear with me 1 second. Obviously, this is the part where it can be a bit awkward whilst you wait for me. As always, if you have any questions, then feel free to drop them below and we will try and answer them the best way we can throughout the session. And if you have anything at the end or anything that you think of after, then we will also try and answer those for you. You can contact the Scratch team via our Instagram account, or you can go to Ruth's Instagram account or the Salon System account, and we will try and answer those for you the best we can. Bear with me, I'm just trying to find the account. So we're just waiting for Ruth to join the live, and then I will be able to find her and invite her in. Then we can get stuck into the questions. So whilst we wait for Ruth to join, which hopefully will be in the next couple of minutes, I've just had a question through which is asking what is coming up on Scratch's live series, which is this live from the living room series that we are currently doing. And on Monday we have a very exciting live with Millie Kendall from the British Beauty Council, and she'll be answering all of your questions about the beauty industry landscape post the coronavirus outbreak. So everything that you're going to need to know and what to expect and the changes that your business might see as a result of the outbreak and as of the UK lockdown. So that will be very exciting for everybody to tune into. So I've just seen that Ruth is now watching the live, so I'll try and invite her in. Just a second. Remember to drop all your questions below and we will add them throughout the session. Just waiting for her to join now. Hello. Are we in? Hi, can you hear me? Bear with me 1 second. We're having a bit of a technical difficulty. Can you hear me? Okay, what we might do is try. Because we're having a few technical difficulties at the moment, because I can't hear Ruth and Ruth can't hear me. So what we might do is I might stop the live and then try and reconnect onto it, just double check all of the settings and then come back on in a moment. I think that might help the situation. So I will end the live and then I will come back on and then we'll try again. And disconnect Ruth. She might have just had a bit of a dodgy connection, so just bear with me, and I will try and pop her back in. See if this works. Aha, I think we've got sound.
We've got sound. Hallelujah.
We've got sound.
Yay.
Okay, that's a victory. Hello, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you? All of this new technology, honestly, stresses me out.
I know. I think it's been a dodgy connection or something, but we got there in the end, which is the main thing. So thank you everyone for bearing with us for that
thank you.
few minutes. So how have you been?
Up and down, like everyone, I think. I'm trying to stick to a bit of a routine, so I'm still making lists and trying to be as productive as possible. I do get lazy days, mine, don't get me wrong. But if I can stick to a bit of a routine and, you know, try and get out and try and take all the advice that everybody's given us, then yeah, I think we'll get through this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just to kick off our Q&A, I think especially for me, it's also really helpful to see what other people are doing in this time and how they're managing their time, because obviously we have a lot of extra time on our hands at the moment. I think everybody does, and we don't always know how to spend it. So how are you managing your time day to day? Are you trying to do bits of work, or are you trying to take the time to focus on yourself? How are you managing that split?
A little bit of both, really. I'm doing a lot of writing, so I'm kind of thinking about subjects while I've got my writing head on, so that I'm putting them in a bit of a bank. So I know we'll use them throughout the year, and it'll be like, okay, that's done, job done, tick that one off already. I am trying to be proactive as far as like my business is concerned. So I've been doing a little bit online, just doing a little bit of research, just making most of this time that I never thought I'd have, really, because there's things that you think, oh yeah, I'll do that when I've got a minute, I'll do that when I've got a minute. Well, now we've got all the time in the world, so I have been, you know, doing that as well, but also just, you know, looking after my own mental health as well, just to make sure that I'm strong enough to, you know, look after the family, and just doing little things really that make me happy.
Yeah. And how what steps are you taking to doing that? So how are you, you know, remaining positive during this time, and what advice would you give to techs on staying positive?
Well, I found that if I lounge around in my pajamas all day, I get absolutely nothing done, and I feel a slob. So I try to kind of get up, get dressed, get washed, put my makeup on, get dressed like I would a normal day. But my weekends have been merging in with my weeks. I don't sometimes often know even what day it is. But one of my lovely colleagues, Lisa, yesterday, she does something where she keeps her week as a week, and then she keeps her weekend for a treat, and she'll get glammed up and have a glass of wine. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and keep my weekends as time for me. And we've had some lovely weather, and, you know, try and get out in the garden a little bit. But it is hard. And, you know, if you've got kids as well, you know, it's a tough time, especially if they're poorly, and, you know, it's an awful time. So I think it's just trying to make the best of it, and trying to look for good things, and kind of expand on that, really, just try and keep positive. But it is hard, you know, it is hard.
Definitely. And I think it's fine to acknowledge that some days will be productive and they'll be great, and then some days they're not going to be so productive, and it's okay to sit in your pajamas if that's what you want to do, and make the most of the time, because we don't always have this downtime, especially beauty professionals. They're always switched on, always something going on. So sometimes it's okay to just put your feet up as well. I think that's a good thing to take away from this. But also, to get stuck right into our topic for today, is training in additional beauty services. I wanted to ask you, as the lash expert, why now might be a good time to start thinking about other beauty services that nail techs can add to their set of skills. So lashes, brows, waxing, and the steps that they can take at the moment to start looking into that, so that they're prepared for when salons start opening back up.
Well, it's a perfect time, because we've got time. This is a golden opportunity, really, to sort of take a step back from your business. Oh dear, did you lose me then for a minute? I think my
Just
connection's
for a
not very
quick
good.
second,
Anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, use this time.
I think we've lost you for a second there. Just wait for Ruth to reconnect. So Ruth's connection is bad, I think, again. So we'll just try and reconnect her back in so we can get stuck into the topic, which I think many of you will find quite useful. So we'll just loop Ruth back in. She is connecting now.
So sorry.
I think we lost you for a second there.
Unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. It's easy to just loop you back in. So. That's okay.
So I'm going to talk about courses and things that you can add to your service. So basically what I was saying was you've got time now to step back and reevaluate your menu, what you're offering, what you would like to maybe add to your menu. And you can do a lot of research and a lot of online learning. Some courses at the moment are doing like a Zoom thing where you click on the app and you're practically in the same room as them. But you can always do that theory and all that online work before, and then they are offering practical days when this lockdown is lifted. So that would be an option to look at. And I think from a business point of view as well, the boring things that again you tend to put them to one side until you've got time, things like updating your first aid, updating the industry regulations, updating your retailing skills, your management, your strategies, your marketing. Particularly for me, getting social savvy is on my list to do. So use this time wisely. I don't want for the lockdown to be lifted and I think back and think, oh my God, I had all those weeks and I didn't use that wisely. So that's kind of egging me on a little bit so that I can do that. But if you're doing lashes already, maybe you're doing one-on-one eyelash treatments and you want to do a Russian, you can sort of look into that and you can practice doing your little fans at home. That'll save an awful lot of time when those doors do finally open and you've got a rush on your, you've got a queue around the block that you've got to get through. And know your brand. I think now's the time to look at the products that you're using and really know them inside out, because you will be expected to sell them when you go back. I don't think anybody's going to ever be in a position where they're going to run out of cleanser, toner, moisturizer. So look at your retail lines and the brands that you're using and know them inside out.
So if there are some techs out there that are thinking that they can use this time to look into what other services they can add to their business for when they go back and the doors do open to training schools again, what should they be looking for in a course for lashes, for example, or for brows or for waxing? What should they be looking for to know that it's adequate and it will provide them with the best knowledge and information that they need?
Go with a company that's reputable. Go with a company that's been around for a while. Look at their reviews. Go online. See what other students are saying. You don't want to waste your money and time going with a company that's not accredited, because once you've done the training, if you haven't got that accreditation, you're not going to be able to get insurance. So it's basically just a worthless piece of paper. And go with courses that offer CPD points as well. I think that's the safest way of doing it. But there's a lot out there. So as I say, have a little look at the reviews, see what people are saying, see what's around you, and also look at the support that they give you once you've been on that course, so that you're not like, okay, on you go on your own. Make sure that there's that support mechanism there, so you've got somebody to kind of go back to. I've got this problem, how do I deal with it, type of thing.
Definitely. And how can beauty professionals be prepared for when the doors do open again for salons and businesses start to operate as usual in however many weeks' time? Obviously, we're expecting a huge influx of demand in beauty services. I know personally, I'm going to need my nails done, I'm going to need lashes done, brows done, hair done.
Not before me, I'm first in the queue.
I think there's going to be a big queue outside of all salons everywhere, with people like you and me that are desperate to, you know, just get our treatments back. So how can beauty professionals make sure that they're prepared both mentally, professionally? How can they make sure that everything is as it should be so that they can really take advantage of this boom that we're expecting?
Yeah, well, I would say look after their own well-being to begin with, because they're going to need an awful lot of energy and a lot of sort of mental strength to get through it, because they're going to be open for longer hours, evenings, weekends, for a good couple of weeks. So they're going to need, you know, that energy coming from somewhere, and to be prepared. You know, make sure now that you've got your stock list in place, so you do not want to run out of wax. You do not want to run out of like your essential items. So make sure, I think online you can sometimes still get with some of the wholesalers, so you can make sure that if you haven't had a delivery, but at least you've got a list of exactly what you want, so that you're not caught out by not having the products there. But you know, you're going to need to sacrifice a lot of time when it's open, and try and get back in. But some salons, I know we don't know exactly when this lockdown is going to lift, but we all know that we want treatments, and some salons are in contact with clients, which is lovely. You know, don't like just forget your clients within this period of time. Keep in contact with them. Some salons are taking deposits now, so that they are prioritized. They're in, you know, at the front of the queue. That will help your business cash flow for the time being, and it's just a token gesture almost to say, yep, you know, you are in that first part of the queue, if you like. So that sometimes is helping.
Definitely. And taking it back to the additional beauty services, how can having those additional services, if you're a nail technician, having lashes that you can also offer to clients, help a nail tech's business? Because obviously they can start to become a one-stop shop, and everybody that is going to, I think, value their beauty treatments even more after this time, because we realise how much we rely on them, really.
It's scary.
Exactly, it's scary, and I think everybody is feeling this way. So I think people are going to be more reliant and have even more regular treatments. So how can being able to offer that in one place benefit a nail professional?
Well, I think because you're a nail tech and you want to introduce another system, and you may have learned it within this sort of lockdown period, when your salons are then opening up, it's a brilliant time to kind of introduce it, possibly at a reduced rate or as an added value to your nail treatment. It'll give you time to get lots of practice on your clients, and they're getting a discount for the lashes as well. So I think it's a win-win for both therapist and nail and client, to be honest.
Also, just to finish off, is there any courses from Salon System that techs can have a look into during this time for lashes or waxing, that they can then join in on once everything is slowly going back to normal?
Absolutely. So if you go on the Training Solutions website, so that's Training Solutions Group, based in London. They are the Salon System appointed, the only appointed agency that we use, and they've got a whole list of different types of different training, whether it's lashes or brows or waxing or hair. You know, you may want to do a bit of barbering, you might, you know, want to extend your salon and do some other treatments like that. They also do have online anatomy and physiology, which is a great one to have, get it updated. They do a lot of accredited courses, and they're always up to date with what's coming, what's new. So yeah, have a little look on their website, and you know, make friends with us on Salon System website as well, and on Instagram, Facebook. You know, you are our community. We welcome you, and we want, you know, we want to carry on with that relationship moving forward.
Absolutely, and I think the whole industry is just one big community at the moment, and everybody's in the same boat. So I think you've shared some really useful tips for techs to follow and things to bear in mind over the coming weeks. Do you have any final words for techs that might be feeling a bit uneasy at the moment? Anything that you want to reassure?
I do. You know, when things don't go my way and I'll come home and I'm down in the dumps and I'll have a moan to my husband, and he kind of puts things into perspective. And his motto is, they can't cut your hands off. And to me, that means, you know what, if it all goes tits up, you've still got yourself. You can then create what you've all, you know, what you've had before. It's not all doom and gloom. They can't cut your hands off. So to me, that's a positive. Yeah, so, you know, good luck to everybody.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay strong, stay safe. Let's just, you know, we are all in this together, which I think is, for me anyway, that's reassuring, knowing that I'm not on my own. My business isn't the only one that's starting to suffer. We're all in it. So, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to be better people for it. We're going to look back and go, cool, remember that time? You know what I mean? So there's going to be something positive come out of this. I'm sure hygiene, that's one of the things that's going to, and that's not a bad thing, you know. Let's look at our hygiene. Let's look at all of our sterilizers. Are they pat tested? Do this now while you've got the time.
Absolutely. There's so many different, you know, little sides of the business that you can look at during this time. But I think that's a really positive note to end on. Do you have anything else that you want to add to anybody, or?
Just keep strong. Try and keep positive. Look after your health. Look after your loved ones. Look after your mental health. It's all right not to be all right, and there are people out there to get into contact with if you do need that little bit of extra help. So yeah, definitely. But glad when the lockdown is finished, just like everyone else.
And if anybody has any questions, first of all, thank you for bearing with us at the beginning when we had a few technical difficulties. That's always the case with lives, as we all know. It's the risk that we take. If anybody has any questions, then don't hesitate to contact me on the Scratch Magazine inbox, and I'm sure that Ruth will be happy to answer any questions that you have, either on the Salon System account or her Instagram account as well. So thank you for tuning in. Everybody stay safe, take care of each other, and we shall speak to you soon. Thank you for joining, Ruth.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, darling.
Bye.
Bye-bye.